Well, hello there. It's late, uh, which is interesting. I guess we'll have to title this blog post "Life is what happens." Life is what happens when you're making other plans. Today was a crazy busy day. Um, it started out normally, and then Leslie and I took a walk. And instead of the usual walk that we take, we took a much longer walk. So actually walked 4 miles, which was great because it helps me recognize that I am getting stronger, I am getting better, and that's exciting. And then we came home. I had an editorial call with my editor um, this afternoon, and there's a lot of other things going on. I'll get back to that in a minute, but it would be remiss if anybody uh, didn't recognize the fact that today is 9/11 and the 18th anniversary of the terrorist attacks um, in New York and at the Pentagon. And it's important that we remember all of that, but I think it's probably at least as important, if not more important, that we remember the first responders, especially the ones that have been racked with all the different forms of cancer that were a result of all of the materials in the air during the rescue efforts and the recovery efforts. So, if you didn't take a minute out today um, to devote to at least a minute of conscious consideration of that day and the impact it's had on all of our lives, please do so. And if you happen to watch this blog post tomorrow or another day, whenever, it's worth a couple of minutes of reflection, regardless of when you think about it. So do that. It's important. We can't forget about these things, nor can we forget about the brave men and women who guard our safety every day, the people who run into harm's way, the people that run toward danger instead of away from it, so that they can keep us safe. Um, Now back to work. I can't promise you anything more about this blog post other than the fact that it may be just a little bit disjointed because it is late and it's been a busy day. As I said before, we took a long walk, an extended walk, 4 miles long this morning, which was probably a mile longer than we normally go. Um, I did have a call. I had a bunch of press releases I had to get ready to send out and finish preparing for certain members of the automotive industry today. Um, on top of it all, I had computer problems, something my friend Janice would tell me is modern life. Uh, and then I went to Tai Chi tonight. I know I told you I went last night, but I went again tonight. It's a different class with a different instructor, different emphasis um, on on meditative and curative medical aspects of Tai Chi rather than on the combat um, aspects of the art. So I was busy from pretty much from the moment we woke up this morning until now. And when I came home and sat down and was having a little bit of water, um, and realized I hadn't done this, so I figured I might as well do it. So today is Wednesday, 9/11. It is Journal 166. It is T162. Um, and as I said before, the overall um, the overall theme of tonight's blog post is life is what happens when you're making other plans. It was so busy today, and I think maybe that's the most important aspect of what we have to talk about is that I was so tied up with really important things that needed to get done. Um, that I didn't get ramped up. I didn't get ratcheted up about tomorrow being clinic and getting nervous about the numbers and devoting too much monkey brain chatter to what those numbers are going to look like tomorrow. As I would tell my friend Paul tomorrow, the Mitch meter says I'm doing okay, and that's got to be worth something. Um, but it's an important consideration because, to a large degree, a lot of what I do in the course of a day is devoted to recovery. Um, I meditate towards recovery. I get exercise. Eat, walk, drink. Try to eat balanced, healthy meals. Try to avoid um, all of the all of the bad stuff. I think there's a corollary between things that taste good and things that are good for you. Um, if something tastes good, I can almost guarantee you it's not going to be good for you, especially if it has sugar in it. The thing that's really interesting is that I had lost weight before I went into treatment. And subsequently, after being admitted as an inpatient, I've lost significantly more weight. I think I've mentioned before, I'm down to about 160 pounds. I don't ever remember weighing 160 pounds. Um, I wrestled more than that in high school. It's pretty crazy to be at this weight, but I like the weight. I like the way I feel. Um, I like an awful lot about um, being this weight. I like the way my clothes fit. I like the fact that I believe I have more energy than I had when I was heavier, and I think those things are important. I don't think it has as much to do with the way I think I look or the way other people think I look. I think it has to do with the fact that I just feel better. I feel healthier than I did when I was eating all kinds of the wrong kinds of things. And we were pretty careful about what we ate anyway. But we're much more selective, so it's been much easier for me to keep the weight off, and I kind of like that. Um, as I said before, it's a clinic day tomorrow, so I'll find out what my numbers really are. Um, but I didn't obsess over it today, and that's usually the case. I mean, there are plenty of times when I start to get neurotic about that. So there's a case that can be made for the fact that busy is good. If you look at what they call the Eisenhower box, or if you look at Stephen Covey's box, with urgent and important and not urgent and not important, and how those boxes get filled with your time. Today was a good day because it was almost completely filled with things that were critically important, that were really truly urgent, and they were important. So I was able to get that stuff done, and the day wasn't filled with a lot of fluff and a lot of busy work that didn't really accomplish anything. So I think those things are really good, and I think it's good for all of us to keep focused on the importance of being active, the importance of being busy. Um, and there's one last thing I think I'd like to talk about tonight, but it is something that I'm going to talk about again in the future. And that's the importance of doing what you can without beating yourself up about what you weren't able to do. I tapped out early in tonight's Tai Chi class. Now, in all honesty, I went for two classes. There's a beginning class and an intermediate class. And I attended the beginning class as a warm up and as a reminder because each instructor teaches the Tai Chi from the family of which they were taught. So each instructor's Tai Chi is a bit different. And tonight was no exception. So I went ahead and I took the first class, which is 45 minutes, and then I took the intermediate class, which is you know, the second and third sets. If you divide the Tai Chi long form up into three sets, the beginning form is the first set, and the intermediate and advanced are the second and third sets. And I couldn't, frankly, just couldn't finish. I wasn't up to finishing the third set, so I sat it out. And I think that's an important lesson also. So think about it being 9/11. Think about the importance of being busy. Think about the importance of eating right. Think about the importance of staying healthy, eating healthy, and think about the importance of drinking. This is water. I promise you it's water. I wish it was bourbon, but I can't do that yet. In the meantime, stay well and take care. I'll be back with you again soon.